Oh. Wait, why are we printing that? Hello, people. It's like grinding in an MMO, but you actually get work done. Yeah, we have to kill 300 wolves here, man. It's crazy. Array bounds check failed. Really? Yeah. Oh, let's do this. I just keep changing my mind. And this is not even directly a logging thing. It's just that I decided to have the log function be a little bit different than it was, and that meant that the checking was not flexible enough. Okay, get argument indices of, and we've got to turn it around because this is the order they're in. The format string is first, so we put the format string first in the function name. Okay. So now it's not going to know the function. Get Doesn't it get argument? Oh. Okay. Text file handler. Start file. Okay. Did I get enough sleep today? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Did you get enough sleep today? You can do one pull-up now. That's good. That one pull-up is way better than 0 pull-ups. I could tell you that. Okay, all these start file calls, these used to take this log agent parameter, which was a parameter to the old logging system that we took out, and I guess we call start file a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and do stuff here. Why didn't we catch that? I thought we replaced all these. Okay. Start file. There's just going to be so many of these. Expected a code make varargs here. Oh no. That's weird. Is it because... Wait, no, that's the format string. It's legal to have 0 varargs. All right, everybody, we got our new T-Runners delivery, and it's Valentine's Day themed, which is a good thing I have a girlfriend now, or I'd feel really bad. Oh. I tried this Indian black tea this morning, so I'm going to do Valentine breakfast. What are some great but little known games lately? Well, I was playing Dyson Sphere Program, and that was pretty good. Do you use telemetry to keep track of published errors post-release? No, we don't. Except on platforms that provide that automatically. I could see us doing it in the future, but it also kind of creeps me out. I'd rather ship things without errors, you know? Am I going to try Valheim? I don't know. It just looked really boring. Like, what? Is it supposed to be good in some way? Just notice there seems to be a lot of hype around it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes games just come at the right time when, like, streamers especially need a new game to play, you know? And there isn't one. So there might be some of that going on. I don't know. But I haven't played it. It might be really good. It just, what I saw of it, Okay. This is incorrect now. There we go. Dude, the checking is going nuts. Oh, I guess you do have to have. Okay, this is just our code. I changed things around and we'll check this here. So the format string is going to be 1 before the var args. I don't know. What? Did we overwhelm? Oh, we passed it something uninitial. What is going on here? It's probably not a literal for some reason. This is like so not what I want to be doing right now. It's a float. Why? Why didn't we... Oh, wait. I wanted kind here. But wait, why is it a float? Why is it a float literal? Why did that pass? I'm not sure, like, okay. I'm going to have a mode where we report errors. No. Okay. Let's try this strat. Which means this part. Aha! Because I was being a little bit inconsistent. This is where this was originally. Oh yeah, now I didn't actually add this argument. Now I've got to change this name back. Okay, now we're still failing because I didn't actually fix anything. Okay, so same deal. Okay, so we're going to say and then the same. Oh, no, actually that's not right. This is just actually something we want to catch here. Okay. Argument, whatever is supposed to be a format string, but we were passed type whatever, right? So, and this is format string index +1 and bleh. Okay. Okay. So the reason we were doing that was so I could call this from check. Okay. We got to return the string, guys. Otherwise, we ain't going to succeed in the games industry. Should I be using a different overload of this? Where is this? I know I did this. Source code location. Make location. From that. Argument 1 is supposed to be a format string. What are you even talking about? What? Should mark this print like, by the way. It's not a print like there. I don't know. This is so far from what I want to be working on right now. Yeah, the deal is, okay, it's trying to call a math log, but that's being shadowed by a print log for some reason. Oh, I passed the wrong thing. Just verify that. Yeah. So it's calling this. This is annoying. Hold on. If I make this first one continuable, then I can report both, right? Yeah. What is the identifier? Okay, so we do that. Okay, so this makes it clearer now. Yeah. So it's like, hey, you're calling log, but it's the wrong one. So why is one of these shadowing the other one? This might be an error in the checking. Like, why does it think? Like, this pretty unambiguously takes a string. So, like, what is happening? Like, I'm not sure why we even get here. Uh-oh, guys. Oh, I steeped the tea way too long. Uh-oh. We have a key emergency. You know what? It's actually not that bad if I don't drink the bottom. That said, it doesn't seem like a very good tea to me. Is SF getting as bad as it looks? I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's probably been about the same for 6 months now. I tried going for a walk the other day and really regretted it. If you're currently having problems with your own productivity, it may be that you just haven't found something that you really actually want to do. That's what it was for me. Well, part of it was just getting disciplined, but part of it was finding something that I really wanted to do as opposed to kind of wanted to do. You go for walks every day in San Francisco? Well, sorry for you. Can't you just dilute it if it's too strong? Not really, because it gets bitter in a way that doesn't get unbitter when you add more water. Okay, why is log here going to the other log? That doesn't make sense to me. Because they should both be imported at the same level. And especially, like, why is only one of the logs going to log, but not the other one? That's really weird. Let's say here is the definition. Because because while calling here sort of implies we're talking about the call site, which we're not. Argument 1 is supposed to be why? I mean, I could change this to math.log and see if it happens elsewhere. Let's get rid of snake for now. So we import math. I'm not sure. This might be something weird going on with name importation happening that shouldn't be. I'm just going to work around it for now, and then that no check-in. Redeclaration of math. Okay. Format string requires 0 arguments. Oh, there we go. That's good. This is a case where I didn't delete this. Okay. Okay, so that was the checker actually finally working, which means I at least got it sort of back into working order. And now we're back to like log print not happening. So I feel like I'm a little too far down the frame. If I'm going to lounge like this, which I am in the mood to do, maybe I need to aim the camera down for the people. Let's do that. And then when I decide to stop lounging later, the camera will be too low. I need a dedicated camera operator. Head tracking camera. Dude, my camera is already expensive enough. I don't even want to know what like an actual head tracker motor that would operate this camera would look like. Although who knows? Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's worth... I need a finger cam. I don't know about that. All right. So we got rid of log print. And we're just calling a function called log now. Oops. Unable to play animation. Okay, none of these are content errors. All right. Because we have now a flag that says, hey, this error is for content people versus not. Okay, look at all the log prints. DJ, Jazzy, Jeff, and the fresh log prints. This is why it's going to be a little grindy. Well... Okay. Oh. Just want to check that we have all these flagged as content log. Okay. Well, maybe we got all those. It's just a giant wall of log print. Let's see how many. This isn't even everything in module. This is just in the game. We could just go attacking it this way, which is a more compact display. There's only 243. I look tired. Yeah, I don't know why I look tired. I slept a lot of hours last night. I slept like 11 hours. Maybe it's too much sleep. Boomer tools. Dude, I didn't even want to use set and awk when I was in college. All right. Log print. Hey, we're down to 233. Oh no, guys, I screwed up. I kept thinking, because I was working on the compiler functions where the default is to do an error. And now I made a bunch of things that are not error by default. And I assumed they were error by default. That's not good. So we're going to have to go back there for a second. Okay. Okay, let's go back to animation graph. These are actually not errors. Okay, where else? Oh, campaign. Yeah, these are all log error. Okay. 224. Two, two, four. Okay, catalog has an old log print, looks like. It might be in a comment. I think that's an error. Okay. Commands. That's an error. Control prompt. Log error. There we go. Developer commands. Oh my God, so many of these. Boy, I wish I could do a regex replace, but in Emacs that's impossible. So I have to do all these by hand. If I try to do a regex replace, I will sit here for 20 minutes getting match failures invisibly before I finally figure out how to do it. Actually, that's not really content people. You get an error, and you get an error. Sure hope I'm doing this right. You get an error. What was that last error? Material count. Oh, that's a technical error. Great. Just cranking through. I'm not sure if that's an error, actually. Maybe not. Okay. We're down to 175. Now that said, when this gets to 0, it doesn't mean we're done. It just means we're done with that. I'm going to get rid of the ones in comments. That's an error too. Error. Oh, typo. 160. What is flags equals dot content? It sets the flag for content. Was that first string like a category tag? It was a category tag. We are getting rid of that. It's too Unix style and it's annoying. So I'm replacing all these log prints right now, but when that's done, I have to also go replace all these log dot whatevers. So we're going to get it running with this. We're going to check it in. And then we're going to do that. Because these all have to go into the same system. Grindy. But probably still a better game than many MMOs that people play. These are log error, by the way. Let's just see. Whoops. How about if I make the string? I did goof there. All right, good. 156. Am I principally against a quick fix like a wrapper function named logprint? Yes. Great way to turn your code into garbage. It's not just that it affects performance, it's that people don't frickin' know what they're supposed to call. People learn how the code works by looking at the code that's there. If you leave an old shitty function laying around, people are going to use the old shitty function. And or they're going to be confused about when to use the old shitty function and when to use the non-shitty function, and they won't know which one is shitty and which one isn't. It's just, don't do that stuff. Just clean it up. Don't be lazy. I mean, you could do a step like that if it was like, hey, we're implementing some new functionality and we want to bridge from the old to the new functionality to keep things working, and maybe even check in. So I could have done it that way and then check these changes in waves, which would have been a more incremental way to do it. I think that's valid, but just doing that and then leaving it around, no, that is not okay. The only case to do that is if you have external users who you'll be breaking their code, which actually in this case we might have, but this is a high enough priority thing and it's a smaller number of beta users. So I'm like, guys, you got to change your code sometimes. How do you get them off the shitty function if they're already using it? By deleting it. That's what we're doing. We deleted the shitty function and we made the better one. That's the point. I actually wouldn't have minded it if I did it in the more incremental way. If you're already parsing the code in the compiler, why can't it re-emit it after a transformation? You can do that. I am choosing not to do this kind of thing in that fashion because I want to review the code. Like, look, there are good things about automated rewrites and there are bad things. The bad thing is that you as the human don't gain any knowledge from it because you're not reviewing the sites. The good thing about me doing this manually is I look at all the pieces of code that are logging, and if one of them wants to do something that we don't currently exactly support, I at least see that and I can take it into account when designing the new thing, right? Yes, we absolutely could have done this automated. No question. But I prefer not to do that kind of thing sometimes. Do you intend to do things like that after the beta? Yes and no. After the beta, we will have more of a backward compatibility slant, but we will have compiler versions where there are definitely breaking changes if you go from V1 to V2 of the compiler, for example. But that said, modules are also in. So this is like a logging module, or it's part of the print module. And that is just something where you would be able to continue to use an old one if you wanted to, provided that was compatible with everything you wanted to do. And like, you know, sometimes I'm rewriting parts of the strings and stuff. It's just, sometimes you don't know exactly what you want to do in advance until you go look it over. Like, there's all sorts of reasons just not to automate things. Okay. LLVM build with optimizations on fails to compile for one of your programs. Well, you should tell me about that. Yeah, I do not know about that. That would definitely be a thing to send. Whoops. I guess this wasn't tagged correctly before or something. Wait, what? Format string, oh, because I didn't delete this. Never mind. Great. This is actually an error that we're still getting that I need to debug at some point. $121. Is the information that was in the tags lost? No, but it was kind of garbage information. That's why we're getting rid of them. We're going to do something else to classify the errors. You can do Control-Shift-Arrow to avoid the arrow. What arrow spamming? No idea what you're talking about. What arrow spamming? Do you think I use arrows to navigate in Emacs? I could use... Yeah. Whoops. Keyboard, arrows, and... What arrows? Why do you think I ever use arrows? Who uses arrows in Emacs? That doesn't even make sense. Oh. Down under 100. The RSI Society probably do, yeah. Like the whole point of Emacs is that you leave your hands in basically the same place. That's also the whole point of VI, sort of, except VI uses escape more. Like if you're moving your hand all the way down to the arrow keys, you're like not typing with it, right? All right. I just wrote this file in the past week. Ever use VTune for this? No. I don't find VTune that useful in a lot of cases, unfortunately. I would like it to be more useful than it is. I like VTune in principle, but when I try to use it, it doesn't work that well. Okay. We are 79. I feel like getting another tea. What's the best way to profile functions? I don't know. Your own game's built-in profiler or like telemetry is pretty good. Telemetry is pretty good. You're already too invested in Rust. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You heard that D language has very fast compilation speed. Do I know how they achieve doing that? Probably by not being a jackass when writing the compiler. That's all you have to do, is not be a jackass. Unfortunately, everybody who makes compilers most compiler authors do not understand what is fast and what is slow, which then makes you worry about why they are compiler authors. I did hear that the original D language compiler was fast, and then it got slower when they rewrote it in D. And then it got even slower when they wrote an alternative to the original D compiler in D. But it's still probably faster than most other things. Do embedded systems make sense? I don't know. What do you like? Do you want to program embedded systems? We are now about to be turbocharged with hot cinnamon spiced tea. It's going to be really good. Robotic stuff seems like the next big thing, and embedded systems seem like a good way to get into that direction. Okay, but no. But what do you want to do? Okay? I don't want to hear like bootlicker, how do I make career money stuff. Or, I mean, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just completely uninterested in giving people advice about that. If you want to make money, go work for a hedge fund, apparently, still, right? Go work for an HFT and do very boring things for the HFT. Okay? What are you actually interested in, though? Could I explain how compilers work on a simple basis? There are a couple of videos on YouTube where we go through that at length. I wonder if someone has the link. I don't have it offhand. Do I think the job market would be good for C or C++ programmer in the next 5 years? I mean, it's relative. Relative to today, no. Except maybe yes, because there'd be fewer people who know those languages, so less competition. Oh, hey man, how's it going, game development watching people? I am the only person currently working on the compiler, though we may change that at some point. We're going to want some content flags in this file. I just feel... Uh-oh, I left the tea water going. Still many big features missing? Not really, no. We also have the snow mints now for extra power. The game industry is evil, according to who? According to who? Mints are evil? I disagree. That's not an error. That is an error. I'm going to have made some mistakes here. We'll work them out over time, though. Thought there were going to be more of those. All right. Bam, 59. Whew, okay. Almost done with this file. That is not a content error. That is a programmer error. Okay. Did I watch the movie Man Who Knows Infinity? No. There's a single method that takes 364 milliseconds to type check. Wow, we almost compile our whole game in 364 milliseconds. Wait, did we get another raid? Oh, we got William Chair raid. Hey, how's it going, people? I miss a whatever in the last log. Let's see. Where did I miss it? Well, this doesn't tell me. We'll find out. Okay. Okay. Well, 54. Am I interested in board games and their design? Not really. It's just not my thing. How did everybody's streams go today? Did we... I guess Manifold Garden 2 is an action game where a dude runs around and jumps upstairs. That's all I know about it. $48. Do I think SVN is better than Git for making video games? Yes, it is far better. You waited 17 minutes for the Rust compiler to finish a release build of your 45K line of code project, 17 minutes. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I say I'm sorry when people say they're really getting into Rust. Like, that's just embarrassing. 45K lines of code. By the way, this game is twice as big as that. Compiles in 1 second. Now, you do get some borrow checking in return for that 16 minutes and 59 and a half seconds. But, you know. Actually, for a release build, we do take longer right now because we use LLVM on the back end. So our LLVM release build is like 30 seconds. So it's only, you know, 34 times slower. Why are people using Rust if it takes that long to compile? Well, not like as languages age, people do larger and larger projects in them, right? So any problems like this, you wouldn't really see, or you wouldn't have very many people complaining very loudly about until you start getting bigger code bases that do more complex things, right? Like if all you ever make, if the most complex thing you ever make is like Tux Racer or something, then you're not going to have that big of a problem. But Rust compiler is quite good at doing incremental compilations compared to what? Compared to C or C++? Compared to Visual Studio? What do you mean by C or C++? Do you mean GCC plus Make even? GCC plus Make is fine at incremental compilations. What do you mean? Do you program in C or C++? Or are you just repeating some knowledge? Quote, knowledge, unquote. It's not really an error. Wait. Yeah, it is. Let's just do that. That's the info. And then this is going to... okay. This is a user display, and this is a thing. Okay. Rust is the best option? No. Depends on what you're doing, I would say. Editor commands. 28. We're on a single screen of the search window. Russ got what code craves. What did I used to do for a living before indie game development? I have been an indie game developer for almost my entire professional career. I had a very short time doing enterprise software, 6 months. And then, like, guys, I've been doing indie game stuff since 1996, all right? Actually, a little bit, if you count it, I was an independent game contractor guy in 95. So probably before most people here were born. I was an indie game developer. All right. Once they start taking crane lifts, yeah, whatever. I don't know, man. You thought I was about to turn 20? Well, I spent some time on a starship going at almost the speed of light. Okay. So, yeah. We'll make that a content bagger. Look at how short that list is. What does the programmer have to do to see the full power of modern machines? Write your own bootloader? No. No, you do it in very simple ways. Don't allocate a lot of memory. Make sure you use memory that's packed together. That's it. That's all. If you do that, your code will be tremendously faster than everyone else's code. It's very simple, actually. Anyone who doesn't understand how simple it is, you shouldn't be listening to about how to program. Like, just don't call malloc or new if you're a C++ programmer, unless they're placement new, and you're fine. That's all you have to do, seriously. Well, that's not, I mean, if you do RAII, it's going to be very hard to have fast code. So just don't do that. The register command note is after the function. Your intuition, I don't care. Syntax doesn't matter. I literally don't care is why it's that way. Actually, there's a good reason that you could think of if you think about it. Now, after this, we're probably going to have some logging in the modules. So that'll be fun. Oh, also more start files. We could review those. Is it possible to do all of your allocations at the beginning of the game? Probably not. I mean, some games used to work that way, but only really games with a fixed, pre-understood number of entities can do that. How to get memory without malloc. You call malloc a small number of times to get your memory, and then you have more organized memory usage between those times. People's souls are fragile. Forgot to add error after log. When? Oh, here. Well, yeah. That's an. Some of these are not errors. So like here, I mean, I guess this should be error. It's a little bit. When you have complex logging output like that, it's a little bit context sensitive. Let's see all the start files. I fixed a lot of these, but some of them, key map is done. Sound tweaks. Test done. Not sure about sampled animation. Oh yeah, that could go. Maybe that's it. All right, so now we have stuff in modules. No surprise. Wave 2 doesn't look as long as wave 1. And then, of course, we have wave 3 and 4 after I get all this working. So we're going to do wave 1 and 2. Well, we've done wave 1. We're going to do wave 2. Then we're going to take a pause while we make all the functionality work. Then we're going to look into that frickin' math.log overload. And then we're going to check all that in. And once all that is working, then I do wave 3 and 4, which is replace the other logging system, of which I suspect there aren't as many calls, but there might be a lot still. Other stuff still takes seconds? No. It only takes seconds if it's the debug compiler. You guys, well, okay, it depends what backend. If you use the LLVM backend, that takes a couple seconds. If you use the x64 backend, the entire compile completes in about 1 second, with not quite half of that being the linker. How fast is release mode compilation? That's about 30 seconds, but a lot of that is just us maybe not passing better flags to LLVM. That's all LLVM spending time optimizing things, right? Yep. Am I receiving constructive criticism? That's not what the beta is about. This isn't a high school art project. This isn't a design by consensus project, right? We definitely get very useful information from the beta testers. They are extremely valuable to the project, but it's not quite that kind of information. What about with, what do you mean slightly different software? Look, everybody upon first hearing how to make software fast goes, oh, but that's just for games. No, it's not just for games. All software, if you understand how a CPU works today, then you will understand why what I said is correct. All right, for all software, literally 100% of software, because they all run on your CPU. If you follow that advice, for 100% of software, it will get faster. The exceptions being things that are bottlenecked on like hard drive access, which almost nothing is in the age of SSDs, all right? Now, of course, everybody excuses themselves by saying, oh, we're totally IO bound or something, and it almost never is true as well. That's another way to be mediocre, is to claim you're IO bound when it's actually your scanfing floats with the slowest scanf in the universe or something 1 billion times. But it's like literally, it's such a hallmark of people not wanting to change what they're doing. Like the minute they hear that the prescription is something different from the way that they program, it's like, oh, but that's just for games. It's like, no, games are the programs that actually figured out how to run fast. None of the rest of you jokers know anything about it, honestly, at this point, even though it's very simple. Like games used to be crazy. Like we used to do all sorts of totally bananas optimizations to shave down CPU instructions. Almost none of that is necessary at this point, unless you're already unless you've already removed all other speed roadblocks, right? But the number one roadblock is access to memory. Fix your efficiency of memory use. And you don't have to do all these crazy optimizations that we used to do. It's tremendously simple. Not allocating in a loop that's just for games. Yeah, exactly. You just use an array and for loops and you got 10 times speed improvement. Yeah, I mean, I forgot that I had the camera set up for slouching. I guess it's still okay. I'll slouch again. I might have been off cam a little bit. It will not change as long as being successful in the programming world means lots of people using your layer. I don't think that's true, because as more and more people become... So the thing is, computers aren't getting faster anymore. All right? So like efficiency of your layer is actually going to start to be an issue. Was my chair worth the money? Why, yes, I sit on it every day and have done so for years. Okay, this log module is going to have to get ripped up, but we'll, okay. Command line. Command line. Log print. Well, why bother with a layer of indirection here? Question mark. Good question. Okay. I guess that's an error too. All right. This has lots of spammy log prints, it looks like. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's exactly. We did this one in the copy of the file. Whoops. This is exactly the same. So when we were heavily modifying the renderer, we copied some of these files to the game. So some of these are exactly what you just saw me do, but more like the non-game copy. Is Core Audio, is that like a Mac thing? Or is that a Linux thing? It's not an error. It's not an error. Okay, now let's see where we stand. New format. That's not handler.new format, that's just new format. Log underscore print. Oh no, there was another one that I forgot about. It's probably not that much of it. All right. I'm probably going to replace all of this in a bit, but all right. I forget what that flags is called. Common flags. We don't have a verbose. What was it? Verbose only. All right. 213. Oh. Whoops, I shadowed a variable. All right. Why? I don't know why that's setting a default logger. I kind of don't really know. All right. I mean, we could... let's put that... Let's make that a flag. It's a common flag. Okay. Do we even use that? I guess we do. Ugh. Why is this such a crappy function? We're going to want to get rid of that. Or why? Let's just get rid of this. We're just going to use the flag. Going to use the flag. If you want line feed conversion, we can set that up a different way. Did I say only? Yeah. Like, is command string even used? Yeah. Too fickle. Yeah, that shouldn't be in the logging. That was, whoever put that there, that was not the right place to put that. Might have been me, I don't know. Oh no. All right. Oh. Especially, yeah. It's only used for like captures of output from SVN commands. So if you want to convert those, convert it on output. Okay. Well, I got double commas. All right. Line 79, we don't have an ident. I might have deleted the wrong thing. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. There's no identifier anymore. Okay, so now we've just got some old parameter typo. Okay. Wow, it's raining outside. It's real cold and rainy in San Francisco. Log underscore print. I'll get rid of these while I'm here. Shader declaration GL. Same exact thing. Same exact frickin' code. All right. Log. I swear we have this like 4 times. Hey, all right, what's the clock at? 2.5 hours to get back to a working program. A little less, but you know. Any questions about what we've been doing there? Could you quickly show the new log function code? It's very simple. There are many agent variables left behind. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, let's get some of those. Make sure they're not used. So we still have agent in here, but that's because that was the thing that handled the agents. We're going to rewrite that separately. For now, just all the agents that come through are the empty string there. Okay, so let's look in modules. Yeah, okay, so we're good now. How is print like being used? Would it be used for future editors? What would the editor support be? Print like just says this is a function that has a format string and then a bunch of things that go into the format string. So you can like check that the number of insertion points in the format string matches the number of arguments that you gave it. It's like your C compiler checking printf, right? Editor support to highlight %. I mean, I guess, sure. Why would you want to highlight %? I guess so that \%. Yeah, there's a little bit of utility to that. I'm having a hot soup break because I deserve soup after doing all that stuff. Let's see if the game runs. Nope. It can't load all the key maps for some reason, which is weird. It means I broke something unrelated to logging. Or like I broke the set current. I don't even know. No soup for you. Yum. What does OGL mean? It means OpenGL was logging something. But I'm not going to worry about it yet. One thing at a time. Why were we unable to load a frickin' file? Yep, that's pretty consistent. Maybe it actually was unable to load, or maybe I messed up the error message. Oh, it's not here. Oh, it's in text file? It's in text file handler. Wow, if I messed up text file handler, nothing's gonna work. Okay, well. File data. Oh no. I don't know why we don't have file data. I need to debug that. Anyway. So I feel like, oh my God, what? Oh. Those are members on text file handler, which is why. because of the using. All right. I think we somehow didn't set our working directory. That might be unrelated. I feel like I saw something about that. No. No. Oops. Permission denied. My computer's running really slow right now, by the way. No surprise. LLVM took 3 seconds. Setting working directory to Sokoban run tree. So this might be that I broke file utilities. Maybe. Unable to load file. Let's see. Let's just step down into it. I was up above it. Now I'm down in it. Oh, we want text file handler. You have a binary file you're writing that contains generic data that, for example, some variables with name plus data. You're wondering if it's better to store all the variable names in a different section and in the file format use indices instead of having a single string every time. It probably doesn't matter very much. The only time that that's going to be a big win is if the size of the data is the same every time. Because the annoying thing about the file names is you don't know how much memory they take, right? Both on reading and writing. If the data records are the same size, I would break out the file names. If they're different sizes, I wouldn't necessarily bother. The only other advantage is if you are loading the file and then you're going to look up stuff in the file, like if it's essentially a hash table or something where you keep referring to the names, then if all the names are stored together, then you have those strings in one block of memory and you don't have to copy the block of memory, right? Like when you do the hash table part, you can just point at that block of memory that you loaded that has all the names in it, right? Although you could, well, it depends. Like if you were going to load the whole file and keep it around anyway, then that doesn't matter. But if you want to load the names and ditch the rest of the file, then that would be a good way to do it. All right, we're going to read the entire file. We're going to file open. Okay, now we're going to read. So we opened the file. We weren't able to go to the beginning? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, tell success was true. And the previous pause was 0. So honestly, we shouldn't be bothering, but like, wait, what? What is happening here? ret is true. Do we have the wrong return value to set file pointer x? Why would we not have noticed that? What is even happening? Set file pointer x. File. Return value. If the function succeeds, the return value is non-zero. Okay, right. So true is non-zero. What? What? What is even happening? Let's call it success. Rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day. Rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day. File set position. So ret is not equal to 0. You'll note. So we should return true. So set success should be true. It is. What? Is this a debug info problem? If I step, are we going to keep going? Oh, God. Okay. Great. We got to fix the debug info. Although maybe there was a problem and I don't know, guys. Oh, these are different files anyway. These are not the files where we had the problems. We have the problems on the key maps only. Oh, guys. I'm dumb. I didn't turn on my imagination brain. We are unable to load these files, but they are all optional files. So the deal is I just broke the logging in text file handler. Wait, though. Did I break the start file calls? Because we have the check. All right. Editor local.keymap. Did we somehow reload keymap with optional as the fourth argument? We just, okay. I just didn't pass it. I just dropped it on the floor. If you want to succeed in the game industry, don't drop your optional on the floor. Now, I don't think that's the only problem. Yeah, because we would keep running if that was the only problem. So we have another problem. It's no surprise that I introduced problems after attacking so many things, right? That's just kind of what happens. So I don't know why we're taking so... Oh, there we go. There we go. We're freeing stuff in our... Oh, remember when I said S colon equals message? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's easy. Also, we didn't free it down here anyway. And we didn't defer free it, right? Oh, whoops. We do need... Okay. Let's allocate that. Rain, rain, go away. Come in some other day. All right, this is good. Let's test the editor. Let's test our new logging system, which is now... So the logging system was using the identifiers to filter everything into the other pages. So now it's really not filtering anything to these pages, except maybe errors. But I guess we didn't have any. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm kind of feeling a little tired and might want to take a break, but I think I check this in and just maybe push forward on it a little bit. I want to update my pupdate. Make sure it still compiles. Make sure it still runs. Then I'll commit it. And I really want to see how much log.print there is. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, 26. That's not that. Oh, no, 175. Okay. Yeah, we're going to take a break because we've got yet another pass to do because I need to get rid of all the log dot whatevers and put them into the same system. And then once that's done, we can get creative about how to categorize things and so forth. All right, so I'm going to take a break, and I'll probably be back in a while. Thanks, everyone, for coming by. We're not going to raid anyone because we're going to be mean today. See you later.